Okay, so there has been a lot of agents coming into final expense who are now utilizing internet leads. And a lot of you out there are buying internet leads and hearing frustrating, extremely frustrating objections when you try to set the appointments. And the purpose of this video is to teach you my strategy to overcome those frustrating objections. I've got 4 listed down here in my notes we're going to specifically go over. I'm going to give you my objection rebuttal process when you are setting appointments over the phone that really works in any kind of objections that you hear. And my purpose of this is to help you get into more of these doors of the internet leads that you're working. And then lastly, I'm going to give you some extra bonus training on what to do if you're just absolutely fed up with these internet leads, and some other ideas that may also help ultimately get you more appointments and sell more final expense. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group. I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both over the phone and face-to-face. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, like the content if you do enjoy it. So let's talk about the objection rebuttal script to use when you hear an objection using an internet lead, specifically more so for final expense. I use what's called the ask method. You A, answer the objection. S, you sell the appointment. And then C, you close the appointment. So the ask method in application sounds something like this. They give me their objection. I say, hey, no problem. All I need is 5 minutes to show you how this program works, and whatever you do with this information is entirely up to you. Why don't I stop by at 10 o'clock, or would 2 be better? So let me break down how this works. Then we're going to go into specific objections like, I didn't do that. I don't remember. You're the 5th guy to call me. I already took care of it. We're going to cover how to apply this in a second, but I want to give you the psychology of why the script works really well when you hear these rebuttals or objections from your internet lead. So first of all, the thing you got to understand is objections, when you hear them, are not true. People say things they don't actually mean. Now, why would that be the case? Well, you're catching them off guard. They're just sitting around watching Maury to see who the daddy is, and they pick up the phone. You've triple dialed them, right? Hope you did. And they're just rebuttaling just the first thing that comes up. It's guttural. It's the lizard brain that comes up. And if you actually, broke down psychologically what's going down, they just have a resistance to having somebody come over to their house, to be in a sales position, to be in an awkward position. They don't want to buy anything. They want to spend money. That's just the stuff, the head trash everybody seems to have, right? Well, that all doesn't come out. People don't say it. They don't even necessarily realize it. What comes out is, I already took care of that, or I've already got life insurance, or I didn't do that. It comes out as something else. So it's imperative that you understand when somebody says something to rebuttal or object to, the internet lead that they requested, that you figure out and understand that you're answering something that's beneath the layer of what you're not hearing, okay? So, for example, and the other thing too, is that we're not going to spend time selling the product, because you really can't do that until you're in front of the prospect. You being there physically, making eye contact, shaking hands, them seeing your body language, that sells more than what you could ever do over the phone. Not to say you can't sell over the phone. We have agents who do a great job. It's just, as a face-to-face agent, you want to use that in-person interaction as give you the most odds of success. So we have to go through and get through the door to make that happen. So we got to sell the appointment. We have to sell that it's no big deal, that it's quick and casual, that there's no harm intended, there's no obligation. And then we got to close with conviction and confidence that all we need is 5 or 10 minutes to show them what we got, and that we close assumptively at either 10 o'clock or 2 to do the specific time. So let me talk to you about how this actually sounds with the objections that I've written on here. And I think these are the most common ones you probably are hearing. And what you're going to find is the way we answer the script is very much the same every single objection that you hear. So I didn't do that. No problem, Mr. Prospect. All I need is 5 minutes to show you how these programs work, and whatever you do with it is totally up to you. Why don't I swing by at 10 o'clock, or does 2 work better? That's how you answer that. Notice I didn't debate the prospect. I didn't give them the full dissertation about when they were on Facebook when they requested the information, or when they were on the internet when they requested the information. I just said no problem, sold the appointment, and confidently closed for 1 or 2 times. Now to the second one, I don't remember that. Have y'all ever gotten that on an internet lead? I mean, you can't blame them, right? I mean, what do you do on Facebook except argue about politics pointlessly and then click on a random ad and then 5 seconds later go back to wasting time? So they probably don't remember that. And again, this is in the moment, but they may also be stalling too. We just don't know, can't trust anything they say. So we just say the same thing. Hey, that's okay. All I need is 5 minutes for me to show you how these programs work, and whatever you do with the information, Mr. Prospect, is entirely up to you. So why don't I swing by at 10 o'clock, or does 2 sound better tomorrow? Same exact thing. And now we're going to hear already took care of it. Again, how many times have they already took care of it with like the world's worst final expense program? Like I've seen that dozens and dozens of times, probably hundreds of times. So again, or maybe they actually didn't take care of it and they're just lying to you because they're in the middle of something else. Maybe they're on the toilet and their mind's preoccupied elsewhere, right? Who knows? So you just have to answer it the same exact way. Hey, that's fine, no problem. All I need is 5 minutes for me to show you how these programs work, and whatever you do with it is totally up to you. I'm going to come by at 5 o'clock, or how does 7 sound? Same exact thing. And the last one on here, which I know a lot of you are experiencing, there's some kind of internet leads out there that are shared multiple times. I'm going to address why that's a big problem here in a minute, but you can rebuttal that just fine. You're the 5th guy that's called me. Hey, that's okay. All I need is 5 minutes for me to show you how these programs work, Mrs. Prospect, and whatever you do with the information is up to you. So I'm going to come by at 6 o'clock, or would 8 o'clock tomorrow night sound better? So that's how we handle each of these major objections that I know you all hear all the time. Now, what do you do if after you've listened to this, you're still a cynic? I mean, I get it. You know, if you've tried this or something like this, you're probably really frustrated. And I'm going to give you a little bit of ending advice, some bonus advice here, if you're looking for something other than what I just kind of helped you with. Because I've been there too personally. I failed the business 12 months in. I was very frustrated and sick and tired of final expense prospects. And it took me working for the man a couple of months to realize how much of a whiny you-know-what I was being. So let's talk about some things to do if you are really frustrated. Number one, these aren't in any particular order, I just wrote this down. Number one, buy more leads. If you're going to buy internet leads, I'm just going to tell you, they're like not that good, all right? All I've heard from the top producers that use internet insurance leads is that they buy them en masse. Again, the agents I've surveyed that work in my agency that work internet leads, they are all buying 100 to 130 a week, all right? In the very end of my full-time career selling final expense, I was buying Facebook leads at the tune of 100 to 150 a week. So I could secure 30 appointments and then write like 15 to 20 of those as policies. So notice I didn't buy 50, I didn't buy 30. I bought 100 to 150. And guys, if you're not doing that, you don't have the numbers on your side. So honestly, look at the volume of leads you're purchasing and ask yourself, am I really doing the best job to give the numbers to operate in a position of strength? To have a position of strength, you've got to have the numbers on your side. And if you're not doing that, buy more leads. Number two is try door knocking. Let's say you don't have the money to get out there and buy 100 plus leads a week. I get it. So you're going to have to put some sweat equity on and go see these people face to face. I can tell you this, guys, I've been doing this long enough. Most agents are lazy, L-A-Z-Y, lazy. They don't want to get out of their house. They don't want to roll up on somebody unannounced and knock on a door. They just want to, kick their feet up, put it on the desk, pick the phone up and dial for appointments, okay? So you have to you have to zig when they zag. And if we know that's the case, then you've got to go out there and get belly to belly with people. You really should be anyway until you're just neck deep in leads, because that's how a lot of sales are consummated. You go visit somebody, they feel you out, you make eye contact, they like you, they have an attraction to you, and they're comfortable with you, and then they allow you to come in. And that happens way more than you probably would ever figure. So go out and door knock if you can't do the first step, which is buy so many leads that you're just inundated. And number three, you might need to switch lead vendors, okay? So I'm not saying that, this is not the first choice I'd want you to get, but there are internet vendors out there, and some of you probably listening to this know firsthand, they resell your leads. They just don't sell them to one agent, they resell them to 2, 3, or 4 agents. And that objection of you're the fifth guy who've called me is a very true objection that, yes, it can be overcome, but the problem is that it's really hard to overcome. And it's very demoralizing when you thought you spent your money on a lead that's fresh and exclusive that it isn't. So therein lies, I think, the recommendation is you probably need to find vendors that aren't going to resell your leads to others, because that's going to give you an edge on its own. Whenever you're dealing with a lead vendor where you start hearing that constantly or with a level of consistency, that's a serious problem. And it's going to reduce your margins, your profitability. It's going to reduce your conversion rate simply because other agents in your agency are working the same lead. What's the solution? Buy exclusive and fresh leads. If you're going to do that on Facebook, I recommend just doing it yourself at this point. That way you can control what the lead says. You can put pre-sales information on it. If you're interested, I can share with you some great courses that will teach you how to do it. Or buy direct mail leads. Direct mail is really good, and they are for the most part, exclusive if you work with the vendors like what we support at Duford Insurance Group. And last but not least, the last little tip of advice, you probably, at the end of the day, it's true for everybody, need better training. I can't tell you how many agents I've worked with that complain and say it's not working, it's broke, it doesn't work for me, and then I ask them to record something, and they either A, never do it because of some belief of being embarrassed, which is, I think it's more embarrassing to fail and not to try to succeed, which I look at not recording yourself to observe what you're doing right or wrong is embarrassing, especially if you're struggling. Or number two, they just never seek out help, and they never even bother to observe or think about what it is that they're doing. The best thing you can do is to record yourself, like I've more or less implied. And even if you don't want your upline or trainer to listen to it, you listen to it. And what you're going to find out, because this is like literally every time I've done this, what you think you're doing is entirely different than what's being heard. What you actually do is probably half as good as you think it is, especially if you're new. And the beautiful thing about this is with a few observations of your recordings and figuring out what to tweak and improve, it can be a night and day difference. I've done this with so many agents. I'm like, hey, fix this, and you're golden. And then they are. So that's what's cool about recording yourself, is that you'll probably be aware of it very quickly, especially if you're objectively looking at what you're supposed to be saying versus what you actually say. Or if you have the guts, send it to your trainer and they'll tell you what to do as well. So that's my training here on how to deal with the most frustrating objections that you're going to get from internet insurance leads. I hope this gives you some hope and a strategy to employ immediately so that you can convert more of these leads into appointments. There's definitely money in those leads. So get with it, take the training, and do exactly what I say. Record yourself and observe yourself to see if you do what exactly I say. And if you like this kind of training, you want more of it, maybe you should think about joining my agency. If you're not getting this kind of stuff, why are you giving them your money in the form of overrides? What are they doing to earn it? Your override should be earned by your upline. And if they're not earning it, why? So check out davidduford.com/FAQ if you want to learn more about how my agency works and how you can optimize your commission, get the freedom and autonomy you want out of being an insurance sales business professional, and how to have access to leads that are high quality and get you results. Again, davidduford.com/FAQ, links above or below. And thanks so much for watching. Y'all take care.